congratulations on Killer Among Us. What a tight little cat and mouse this is.
Thank you.
And I'm a big fan of detective films from the 1940s, 1950s. Charlie, you must have a love for that as well, because this reminds me of a Bogart film.
I actually am a huge, yes. I think Have Not Howard Hawks is a great film. Yes, I am a fan of that.
There's a certain pacing to a thriller like this.
Mm-hmm.
And you captured it. You did it very well.
Thank you.
Yasha, wow, what an amazing performance. First of all, congratulations on Flight Attendant, because
thank you.
Wow, it's a terrific and funny, weird little show.
It's so interesting, but that both of these, between Flight Attendant and Killer Among Us, they're like the, I won't say an underdog, but something you didn't expect. Like HBO Max is a new network. We had a new showrunner. Everything was new. It was like, we're all just going to do, and that's exactly what Killer Among Us was like. It was like, you guys, we're going to do something we haven't done before, and we're going to kill it, period. So I think that it's really funny that you brought up Flight Attendant, because I'm a woman in a suit. I'm in my flight attendant uniform, and I'm in my police officer uniform, and one is a comedy and one is a killer. But they come from the same place, that let's try and do something new, even though we may be, fresh, getting our feet wet, but they both were amazing.
Do you have a particular way of approaching a character? Are you a method actor? Do you use Meisner? What's your approach?
Well, I was trained, like many actors who went to conservatories here in America. I went to SUNY Purchase. Method acting, Stanislavski. I didn't, my twin brother, he did the Meisner, and I don't know I'm on the spectrum. I got ADHD. I'm like, oh, I'm zoning out now. I can't do that. So,
River poems. Nerdy. I did Spoon River poems. Sanford Meisner made everyone read those poems. Yeah.
See, and I didn't even get that far to confirm or deny. You know more about Meisner than me.
I know method. I've studied a little bit effective memories, and
come on.
Yeah, well, I gotta tell you, we're shooting this thing in October, so 4th of July. And Yasha's like, I remember there was some stuff outdoors. She's like, you know what? I'm like, oh, we haven't coached her. She's like, I'm good. I'm doing overalls. And she's like, you're imagining like the overall effect of the sun or something on you. And she's doing method stuff, and kind of got me more into it watching her. Yeah. I read more about it and studied, and actually started taking acting classes over Zoom while COVID.
Oh, wow. And wow.
Does acting make you a better director? Do
Absolutely.
You understand 100%. That point of view?
Absolutely. It truly, truly, truly does. Tony, acting made me a better writer, made me a better director. Like, what do actors look for in terms of beats within a scene and then the conflict, and what do they want? The active listening, getting closer and further away from your goal, made me much more cognizant of their process and what they bring to it. That said, Yasha, I think that casting Yasha was one of the best things I could have done, because she made everything I wrote better. So there you go. If you cast the right people, yeah.
Well, the other thing I want to bring up is you also cast the best crew possible too, because these guys interpret what you say, but they did such a beautiful job in understanding the noir in a detective film like this.
Absolutely. Eddie Muller, if you ever watched Noir Alley, you mentioned it before on TCM, he does some really cool stuff. And these are all people who I trust. Bernard, my cinematographer, and I go back to literally NYU film school together. So he and I go
trust. And that's how I felt that feeling of trust. I didn't feel stressed. I didn't feel like I needed to carry this movie. I didn't feel anxiety. I felt the safety of exploring, even through, explosions going off and guns and blood and fire and every crazy thing. I felt completely safe. And I guess that's because the people that you chose, you trust them.
Thank you, Yasha. True.
Yasha, when audiences are watching this, what do you think they're going to pull from it?
Oh, I think they're going to be angry. And anger is a really good thing. Anger is such great fuel. And if people aren't angry, they're not living. You got to find something that makes you angry enough to do something. Life is not peace and cherry blossoms. That anger is fuel. And I think that when people watch this, they're going to feel angry. I think they're going to feel they're going to be on the edge of their seat, and I think they're also going to see a side of the story that's happening all over the world that we don't see. This is a Black female cop. Right now, it's always these white male cops that we see on the news. We see a Black female victim. Right now, during Black Lives Matter, it's white male officers, Black male victims. This movie is a Black female officer and a Black female victim. It's something that people would not expect. And I think because of it, there's a sensitivity, there's an astuteness to Alicia's character. She has really good instincts. And even the victim, her being a teenager, she has really good instincts. And I mean, Black girls got good instincts. What can I say?
It's true. And Charlie, picking Imani was a sign from heaven too. She's amazing in this film.
Sign from heaven. Amen.
Imani is great. I remember she came in and she read and she started like doing like fighting back against the killer. And I was like, I remember I looked over at Joe and like, this girl is really good, isn't she? And he was like, he had a little more like look at each other. It's like, you have to be careful when actors are in the room because you don't want to hurt them if you change your mind or whatever. It's like, and it's the worst part of the filmmaking process is casting because like people are coming in. But Imani did a great job. Imani did an amazing job. And the movie,
I don't know, Tony, do you know that Imani is a rapper?
Yeah.
That's her background. While we were in acting school, while you were in film school, she was in the booth with a notepad. She didn't train, and Andrew went to an Ivy League acting program, the best of the best in the country. And then you have this girl who's been living on her own since she was like 17 years old, rapping. It's just, you can feel that fight in her. Yeah. Even when she's laughing and kikiing, you can feel it.
Yasha's 100% right. Imani was able to tap into some stuff, and that was very genuine and authentic and very important for the character. Because her character, she really is the stakes. She's like, what are they fighting for? The entire film, it's to save this girl or what to do with her. And she didn't bring life to that character, the movie would have fallen flat. Like, who cares about this girl? She doesn't matter, whatever. She had to be smart. She had to be tough. She had to be human. She had to be accessible. She had to be all these things. And Imani knocked it out of the park.
I always think that musicians make really good actors because they hear the rhythms and cadences in their performances, in the characters that they play.
That is so beautiful. That's so true.
Yeah. Never occurred to me, but that makes sense. I like it.
Yasha, I'm going to give you the last word in our interview. Was there any moments in the film that were particularly that you fell in love with, or was there a moment off screen that you fell in love with?
I honestly, it's interesting because me and Imani, who plays the victim, we didn't spend that much, we don't have that much on camera time because we're trying to find her. So the end of the film, it was like the end of an experience. All of this between the parallel of filming and the parallel of the story, I just felt that, and I don't want to give it away. Watch the movie.
There you go.
But at the end of the film, I felt like the end of the film was that to me was worth all of the shooting, all of the 2 o'clock in the morning, 4 o'clock in the morning, all the trying not to get ticks in the middle of the upstate mountains.
Yeah.
So I think that the moments that I have with Imani, because I see, the little Black girl in me that wants someone to make sure that she's safe, see that she's valued. She's not the total sum of her mistakes because Imani is a prostitute, but she's still a little girl. Mm-hmm. So that part to me, which you'll have to watch to see, was just miraculous for me.
Our time is all up and I have so much more. Charlie, direct a bunch of other stuff.
Come on,
Yasha,
child. Cast me again.
I will.
Yasha, star in everything. Just get in everything.
I will star in everything.
Yeah.
I'll do exactly what you said. I will star in everything. You're right. I'll take your. That's what I'm gonna do.
See
You
our
guys have a
movies
wonderful morning. Thank
on
you.
Amazon and on iTunes, streaming video on demand. Watch it. You'll have a good time.
It's a great time,
Mhm.
and if you love cat and mouse movies, this is a
Woo.
really good movie.
Thank you. A little sound lesson for you to mull over when we're done. Thank you very much, guys.
Bye bye, guys.
Bye.